All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me? Holy cow. Can you guys hear me? Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. I was supposed to say thanks, but I like to make up my own words. I'm doing really good. How are you guys all doing? Hey, thanks. Thanks, Ethan Ab, YT. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. We'll give everybody a few more minutes and then we'll move on to the questions. I love your channel, man. Keep up the amazing work. I hope you remember me. Jordy, I do remember you. Oh my goodness. If you guys can hear it, my neighbor decided to start mowing their lawn. So I don't know if you guys can hear that through the microphone or not, but that's a fun thing that we get to listen to. What was your first horror movie? Okay, we'll jump into some of the questions. I'm going to start off. I'll answer that one, but I'm going to start off with the. Oh, and by the way, okay, so here's the deal. I have a residual cough from when my family and I had COVID. So if I mute all of a sudden, it's because I'm coughing. So just be prepared for that. Trip and flare. You can't hear it. Can anybody else hear? Oh, you can't hear the lawnmower. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thanks. Sweet. Thank you, Salt. I appreciate that. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So I'll answer a couple questions and then we'll move on to the email questions that people sent a couple weeks back. Hey, thanks, dude. Fortnite Scar. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is actually mask number 3. So I've got my number 1 mask that I use in most of my videos. I'm going to start rotating some of the masks, but so far I have 3. Favorite horror slasher. Okay, so real quick, first horror movie. My first horror movie memories are from oh, let me think. It's are you gonna make an OnlyFans? Not anytime soon. I don't plan on that. Thank you though. Yeah, I did make this mask. I put hot glue on a Scream mask and made some other modifications to it. But yeah, you Kiddo Kills. All you got to do, buy some Ghostface masks, and then I will get there. I will get there. And then just use hot glue. Drizzle the hot glue on there. The mouth gets kind of tricky, but you can cut out that plastic piece so you have a part to breathe through up here. That's the easiest way to do it, but the mouth can get pretty tricky. Okay, so first horror movie. My first horror movie memories are from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Aside from that, there were Jaws movies that I used to watch growing up. I grew up in Florida. We would go to the movie rental place, rent all 4 of the Jaws flicks. And then my dad had a river going through his backyard. And after we watched the Jaws movies, we would go swimming in the backyard. Now, there wasn't sharks in that river as far as we're aware, but there were alligators. So I survived my childhood somehow. But other than that, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, the Friday the 13th movies, and of course the Halloweens, watched a lot of those classics. The Thing was one of the early on horror movies that I watched that actually scared me. I'm trying to think. I think that pretty much covers most of that as far as what got me into horror, especially Killer Clowns from Outer Space, because I grew up thinking that was a legitimate horror movie, that there was no comedy at all. And to totally scared the hell out of me. And especially the part where they pie the security guard and he dissolves. I did not realize how funny that was as a kid. So it just ended up terrifying me for years. Favorite movie I've covered on Survivor's Guilt. That's actually going to come up in some of the other questions. Oh man, that's a really good question. It really depends because and I'll get into that a little bit too, but the background part of it, the background of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, if you watch that video, it slowly fills up with cotton candy cocoons as it goes. And when I figured out how to do that in the software, I was super psyched. And that was super fun. My least favorite was Dark Moon Rising. If you guys go way back, it was in November or December of 2019. It was one of my first Survivor's Guilt videos. And dude, Dark Moon Rising was just really bad. I probably shouldn't have covered it at all. Yeah, those scream masks that have the pump that pumps blood, those are pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of those. Trying to catch up with your guys' questions. Oh, I think I might have missed some. Jordy Killer's God. What was the question that you wanted? You don't know if I'd answer my question or your question. So yeah, go ahead and let me know what your question was. Who's your favorite final girl? Let's see. Do you have a favorite Goosebumps episode? Oh man. Man, guys, these are good questions I wasn't prepared for. Hey, King Needgore, thanks for dropping in. How are you doing? Oh man, okay, I'm gonna have to think about the Goosebumps episode. Favorite final girl is, oh man, this is gonna sound goofy. Actually, you know what? Heather Langenkamp from Nightmare on Elm Street. She is by far my favorite because the variety of characters that she plays throughout the movies, even in the last one playing herself. So I'm going to go with that. I am going to come back to the Goosebumps episode. Why did you start the channel? Because I wanted to do something creative. I was going to school for a little while doing morning classes. So waking up at like 1 o'clock in the morning to knock out a bunch of schoolwork before I would go into work for, 8 to 10 hours a day. And when I stopped doing school, I was like, all right, I really want to spend my time doing something more than playing Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto 5. So I decided, hey, you know what? I want to start a channel. I was trying to be more like Bloodbath and Beyond to begin with. And then I kind of went from there. Let's see. Congrats on the movement. How do you hope Scream 5 plays out? To be honest with you, man, I'm not really psyched for Scream 5. I'll be honest with you. I sat on Scream 4 for years. In fact, I think I just watched it for the first time a couple months ago, and I wasn't big on it. It just didn't feel like it was necessary, Even Scream 3 felt just even a little bit more necessary than Scream 4. And so I'll see it. I really like Ghostface as a killer because it can be anybody. And when are we going to collab on something crazy? Dude, tell me. I'll have to pick up the movie and start taking notes and stuff on it. But yeah, let me know. If you guys want to email me, my email is survivorsguilt@protonmail.com. So for collabs or promos or whatever, go ahead and send those to that email. Let's see. I kind of find you're less like, I like a less popular Dead Meat, and the reason I watched you was because I wanted him to make the clown movie. That's why I started watching you, but I like you both. Yeah, that clown video really popped off. That was crazy. It was amazing how that happened. And it's a little bit cool because you don't have a whole lot of control over how YouTube is going to impress your videos on people. So all of a sudden that video started getting a whole bunch of impressions. And obviously through the impressions, it got a lot of views. Sorry, I'm checking to see because it seems like the light is going in and out. I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. Oh my goodness, I'm missing the chat. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, because it's really weird. Oh my goodness, it just skipped forward. Will there be a leather fake? I don't know. To be honest with you, I have one spinoff of this mask going. Um, it's ready, but I can't debut it until I cover a certain type of movie. So that'll be coming up soon. Keep an eye out for that. You'll know when you see it. It's very different than what I've got going on right now. Do you like Chucky? I do like Chucky. To be honest with you, I haven't watched any of the Chucky movies in years. And Chucky, Child's Play 3 is the one that I have the most fond memories of. When will you do a kill count of called Duel? Are you talking about the old Steven Spielberg movie, Duel, or is there a different one? I think that's a different one. Duel, as in two, because Duel. Khalil, you'll have to let me know which one you're talking about. You are almost as good as dead meat. Thank you. That is quite the compliment. I think that I am far from it, but I appreciate that. How old are you? Well, wouldn't you like to know? Have you ever played a game called Borderlands? I have not. To be honest with you, for the last several years, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play a lot of video games, especially when I'm trying to keep up with making videos and stuff. I literally have zero time for video games. GhostFake is immortal. Yes, he is. That's why we need to expand this so that other people can be GhostFake. See, okay, here's the thing. In the Scream movies, anybody can be Ghostfake. And that's one of the coolest things about Ghostfake is that it can be anybody. Or Ghostface, sorry, preferably. So Ghostfake can be anybody. So what we need to do is branch out so that there can be dozens of channels called Survivor's Guilt, whatever, each individual. And then we would cover far more ground that way because one video every 2 weeks is just not doing it. Do you ever think about doing a face reveal? I did when I was getting ready for this video because I knew that wearing this mask was going to be really uncomfortable for an hour. But nope, not happening anytime soon. Will we ever get a face reveal? Maybe when I die, if somebody finds my obituary, you guys might be able to see it. Face reveal. I remember my sister making me watch Scream. Yeah, see, my sister made me watch Scream too, and I really enjoyed it. But I was kind of young, and Ghostface really haunted me for a little while, especially when Drew Barrymore's boyfriend gets gored. That was pretty intense gore, and it that scared the hell out of me. Scream 1 was iconic. The rest shouldn't have existed. Scream 2 wasn't that bad. And to be honest with you, even Scream 3, aside from it being really long and kind of dumb, I even like Scream 3. But yeah, Scream 4 was not fantastic. How's your day? It's going pretty well. We had a nice, relaxing day today. I got to wake up really early and work on my next couple of videos. So that was exciting. You deserve to have 2 million subs. Oh my goodness. So the chat will jump just so you guys are aware. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm getting this stuff. And then it just jumps right down to the bottom. Goriest movies you've ever seen. Dude, that's tough. Because there are like movies like Hostel that are gore porn. And then there are movies like Cannibal Holocaust where they're gutting real animals and stuff. So I'm just going to say probably Cannibal Holocaust because that was pretty intense. And it doesn't make you feel very good, but there's that. I just followed you on Twitter. Hey, thanks, dude. I'll follow you back. Let's see. You make nice videos and especially Jeepers Creepers. Cool. Thank you. I'm happy that you like that one. I'm that type of guy that just watches really gory movies. See, and same with me. I like to push those limits. And in fact, I've been sitting on Martyrs for a really long time, and I need to watch that one. Scary movies, Ghostface. What about scary movies, Ghostface? Hey, what's up, Screwball Baggins? Nice. I like that name. Not much. How are you doing? Child's Play remake only had the title for more money. If it had another title, it would be an amazing movie. That's true. I think that Child's Play remake or reboot only got the hate because it had Child's Play name on it. But to be honest with you, I think a lot of people actually really enjoyed that movie. It was a lot of fun. The gore was pretty good. It certainly wasn't scary at all. Shriek, I know you did last Friday the 13th. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Holy crap, it's been a really long time. Hey guys, what's up? Hey man, much love and support. I have to go right now. Help my mom with something. All right, cool, Jordy. Yeah, dude, have a good one. Let me know eventually what that question was that you were going to ask me. I think I might have missed it or something. Have you ever tried making a side channel so that way you can always make gaming videos and then do scary movies? So here is something that I thought about, and I'm actually thinking about just telling somebody else to do it. Um, if you, it's a thought that I had, and I've pitched it to a couple different people, but covering specifically video game movies. So even Far Cry, um, Resident Evil, of course, Silent Hill, and all those, and then doing a video game review talking about that, and then reviewing the movie on the side. And I'm sure that there are channels that already do that. It's just something that I thought that would be kind of fun. Um, let's see. Just saw your zombie beavers review. Funniest thing I've seen. Hey, thanks, man. Oh my goodness, it jumped again. I really apologize, guys. Face reveal. Yeah, 20 million survivors. 20 million survivors, and I'll do a face reveal. Please don't do a face reveal. Thank you, Iceman. You guys don't want to see that. It would be very sad. Man, dude, that's disappointing about the face reveal. Lots of face reveals on here. Appreciate the long 20-minute breakdowns. Yeah, they're getting a little bit shorter too. I'm starting to get a lot better at what I'm doing. The car door kill was the best kill in Scream. It was pretty good. Do you like Pokemon? Oh yeah. Where are you from? Around here. Bro, we want to see the man behind the mask that entertains us all. Trust me, it would only be disappointing. Everything about this is disappointing. Trust me. If it's not disappointing, it's offensive. Mask change when? Would like to see you trying some new masks based on the movies you do. Okay, so Ayub, that is something that I plan on doing. Right now, I have one other design. The other ones, I just got to get a little bit more crafty to do those. It takes a lot more time to make these things than I expect. You should do Army of the Dead Survivors Guild. Okay, so I do plan on doing some of the Dead movies, and I'll be 100% honest with you. This October or November, I was actually going to be covering Night of the Living Dead and the remake, and Dawn of the Living Dead and the remake. And some of that has to change because another better channel is just recovered one of them and then covered one of the other ones for the first time. So I'm probably just going to cover the remakes. But well, that's kind of the fun thing about the Survivors Guild idea is it's a little bit different than Dead Meat in the fact that the kills are probably going to be a little bit different because I'm going to count every dead body versus just the kills that we see on screen. So there is that. Oh man, you guys are way ahead of me. We need a Shrek survival stats vid. You know what? Maybe eventually we'll do something with that. Worst movie I've ever seen. To be honest with you, there's a few really bad ones, but the worst movie, that I've ever seen, and it's not a horror movie, was called Smiley Face with Anna Faris, and it was the only movie that I've ever not been able to finish. It was bad. What is your favorite video game? To be honest with you, I love the Grand Theft Auto games, and I have ever since Grand Theft Auto 3. And then I love killing time in Grand Theft Auto 5 if I have time to kill. What's your future plans for the channel? That's a great question. I don't know, man. Just kind of keep going with what I'm doing right now. And then eventually, I'd like to be more consistent with the uploads. I'd love to have a video out every week, if not multiple, if that's possible. But that'll be sometime in the future. Will you ever do a gaming channel? Probably not anytime in the near future. Night Wolfie, do you watch Dead Meat? I do. I've not watched. Actually, I think I'm pretty caught up, but there were a few movies there that he did recently that I wasn't super out to watch or anything, but I do watch his channel. Like horror games. To be honest with you, I just lost your comment. Dang it. Okay, like horror games. To be honest with you, I can't play them. The last horror game that I played was Alien Isolation, and the second that the Xenomorph showed up, I had to put the game down because it scared the hell out of me. Skrillbo Baggins, Martyrs was great. Definitely pushes the limits of gore, but it had a great ending. That's what I've heard. How huge is your movie collection? It's a few thousand. But to be honest with you, I pick them up for really cheap for the most part. But it's at least 3,000, if not more. And you know what? I might be going over there. I'm not sure. It's a lot though. It's at least 2,000, probably more, but a lot of them are DVDs. And I'm starting to get to the point where I kind of need to pick up more Blu-rays. The goriest movie I've ever seen was Brain Dead. Yeah, that movie's really gory. It's a lot of fun though. My question was about the face reveal, but you answered. Oh, nice. Yep. That's the answer to that one. SG, what horror movie should I watch next? You know what? If you have Shudder, go check out some of the movies on Shudder. Oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Oh no. Hey, Sackhead Ed, how's it going? Hey, thanks, man. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Man, I just watched a movie on Shudder not too long ago and I really loved. Slacks. Slacks was a lot of fun. I'm a huge fan of really just off the wall movies like that. I thought it got a little heavy-handed towards the end, but it was still a fun watch. Are you the real Scream? Nope. Fake. Ghost fake. Yep. Do you know the channel Dead Meat? Yes, I do. Rabbit Dog 08 H2O. Little AIDS. If you ever think of doing a side channel, wouldn't you need to hire an editor so you could still post on this channel? You know what? I'm not exactly sure how that works. I don't think there's a limit to how many channels you can have. But I would have to hire someone probably to edit my videos. That is by far it takes the longest. But keep up the good video. You're doing great. Grand Station. I have a question for you. What is the scariest moment of your life? Dude, that's a good question. I've got a few of them, but you know what? I'll go with this one because aside from paranormal type stuff or any of those things, scariest moment of my life was my son was 2 weeks old and he had to go to the hospital for being failure to thrive. Now we were in there for a week and they got him back to at least doing better because he was like projectile vomiting all over the place. And then we got out of the hospital for like 2 days or a day. And then he started projectile vomiting again. And we had to go back into the hospital for a whole nother week. And we had a nurse there that was a little bit on the uptight side because what had happened, and actually this is kind of a long story, but bottom line, we told them, hey, yeah, wake us up in 2 hours because we hadn't gotten any sleep. And we were like, wake us up in 2 hours so that we can feed him. We wake up like 6 hours later and the nurse comes in and is like, he hasn't eaten for 6 hours. And we're like, no, we told the nurse to come in and wake us up in 2 hours. And she just went off on us and was like, your son's going to die if you don't take care of him and all this stuff. And obviously really bad nurse, really young parents, but it was awful. So that was probably the scariest moment of my life that I can think of. Let's see. At least because it didn't really involve me. I've had plenty of moments in my life where things were scary, but I wasn't super scared because I don't really care that much. That sounds awful, but it is what it is. In case you missed the first go around, what's your take on the Amityville horror movies? I love the Amityville movies. Amityville 1 scared the hell out of me as a kid. But I dig the Amityville movies. Well, the ones that I've seen. I've only seen like 1, 2, and 3, and then the remake. I haven't seen all the offshoots. What's your favorite horror franchise? Oh. To be honest, right now, especially as far as slashers go, Hatchet. I love the Hatchet movies. The Hatchet movies are absolutely fantastic. I have so much fun with those. You could do Day of the Dead remake and Bloodlines, Night of the Living Dead remake. Pretty sure Dead Meat will leave them alone. Yeah, that's true. He might. Oh man, it jumped again. Yeah, he probably won't be doing those anytime soon. Yeah, those are probably some of the ones that I'll stick to. Smiley Face was bad. Thank you, Mutant Theater. Yes, it was. It was awful. Oh man, I couldn't finish it. I think we got like halfway through and it was terrible. Have you seen Mikey? It's a Killer Kid movie. I don't think I have seen that one. Cover Thanksgiving. Eventually, I probably will. It's not on the list yet. I will probably add it to the list today. The goriest movie that I've seen is Rambo 3. I don't think I've seen Rambo 3. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Your channel is going to explode. I know it. Thank you so much, Chaos Coda. I appreciate that. We'll see what happens. Will you do a Gremlins kill count? To be honest with you, I really wanted to do a Gremlins kill count last year. I'm glad that I didn't get to it because I think it's a process where things are getting a little bit better as I go, as far as quality and stuff goes. So I'd really love to do the Gremlins movies justice. I played Outlast and it took me walking next to a harmless dude to make me refund it. Oh, bummer. Dude, your voice is so epic. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. What's your opinion about the Scary Movie series? To be honest with you, I've only ever seen 1, 2, and 3. I saw number 1 in theaters, and I didn't think it was that funny. There were certain things in it was funny, but I mostly just thought it was all right. Scary Movie 2 was actually significantly funnier. And then Scary Movie 3 I thought was hilarious. It was the perfect time as far as my humor at that point, because I was a teenager, where I just loved that movie because I thought it was so funny. My friends and I used to watch that all the time. Speaking of slacks, is it being covered soon? Not anytime soon. It's not even on the list. I'll think about covering that eventually. Have you seen The Wrath of Man? No, I'm really bad at keeping up on newer movies. So I haven't seen that one yet. What's the hardest movie that you've ever had to kill count? 3 Days Dead was pretty difficult because of all the zombies. And I had to kind of figure out how I was going to do that because that was the first zombie movie that I covered. Trying to think, there was one recently that I had a really hard time covering, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I don't even remember the videos that I've covered recently. Are you going to cover Rubber? I could add it to the list. I haven't had Rubber covered to the or onto the list yet. Most skilled slasher film villain. Skilled. I don't want to say skilled, but I'm going to have to say, as far as creative kills, would probably go to Jason. I don't like saying that. I really don't like saying that. However, he's had a lot of variety in his kills, especially Jason X. I can't really argue that. Thanks a lot, Sackhead, and having me say something positive about Jason Voorhees. There was I have not played Dying Light. The hardest movie that I ever had to kill count. I'm really trying to think. There's... man, I'm really gonna have to think about that one. And I still have to get back to Goosebumps. You know what? I think the Headless Ghost is my favorite Goosebumps episode because it was my favorite Goosebumps book. It was the first Goosebumps book that I ever read, and so when they finally came out with an episode with it, I loved it. The haunted the Headless Ghost. That's what it was called, the Headless Ghost. Do you have any new episode ideas? To be honest with you, I've got the whole year planned out. That doesn't mean that it's not going to change because there have been a couple things. Hey, MJ, thanks for coming. I've got the whole year planned out. I do swap them occasionally. Like, for instance, Zombievers wasn't on the list at first. So yeah, I've got the whole year planned out, but we'll see how that goes. Would you ever do a count for other zombie movies like Zombieland 1 or 2? I would, but those would be further out than anything, just because I'm not in a rush to do zombie movies. I like zombie movies a lot. I don't I don't care for zombie movies all that much. They're fun enough, but they're not something that I'm rushing out to see. That nurse needs to disappear. Sheesh, that nurse needs to disappear. There might be something that I missed. I have no idea what's going on. Why did you go from the father death mask to the melted look? So if you go back, I think it was around October last year, maybe early November. We did this episode called The Saga of GhostFake. And the saga covers everything because it started with the trial of GhostFake, which happened the first Friday the 13th. So I think it was in March of 2020, which was really funny because that was like the last normal day that we had before the pandemic. But it started there, and then it kind of lasted until November of last year because that was the next Friday the 13th. And so we kind of made a story out of it. So if you want to see what happened to my face, that's how you can do that. Show us the suit that you're wearing. No, because I'm not wearing pants. What's the next movie or franchise? uh, well, okay, so the next movie is going to be Sand Sharks. However, um, there's also going to be a special bonus episode thrown in for patron onlys or for the patrons. So that'll come soon enough, and then so it'll be for patrons only, and then a couple weeks later, I'll drop it on the channel. So the patrons will have but it's a surprise episode. No, it's not a surprise. I think I've already told some people. We'll see. But anyway, the next one's going to be Sand Sharks. Will you cover The Thing 2011? Eventually, I will. I originally planned on covering them all last year and just didn't get around to it, including the original from the 50s. Can you cover The Town That Treaded Sundown? Somebody already. So that is on the list, but it is going to be a little ways out. It might even be after 2022. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I just got Amityville Poltergeist. Didn't watch it yet. Yeah, I don't blame you for not watching it yet. To be honest with you, the Amityville movies kind of went off the rails like crazy. Did you enjoy the Silent Hill movies or games? Me personally, I enjoyed the Pyramid Head as the antagonist. Yeah. You know what? I haven't seen that movie since around when it came out. Did it come out in like 2007 or 2005 or something? I've only ever watched it once. I didn't watch the sequel. And I never played the games, but I'll have to check it out. I have not seen In the Tall Grass. Will you ever kill count the Conjuring movies? To be honest with you, I was going to do that last year. I was planning on doing that in December, but my plans changed. In fact, I think I only got like one video out that month. But I was going to cover the Conjuring movies because the second one takes place around Christmas time. So that was going to be the Christmas movie that I covered. Eventually I will. But if I do that, I'm probably going to have to cover the Annabelle movies too and The Nun and The Curse of La Llorona. Favorite and least favorite horror series? Dude, that's difficult. My favorite is Hatchet, by far. In terms of quality, gore, and fun, Hatchet all the way. I'm going to have to think about my least favorite, because I'll be honest with you, some of those Freddy movies are pretty damn boring, and some of the Jason movies are pretty boring too. And to be honest with you, the worst thing to me that you can be as a horror movie is boring. Are you going to do the Resident Sorry, if I could talk. Are you going to do the Resident Evil movies live action and CGI? I have considered that. I'll be honest with you. I've only ever seen the first 2 or 3. So I will. I've considered that. Again, I kind of want to do those with the video games somehow, to do maybe like some sort of collaboration there. So we will see. Monster Fam. Hey, Frank, thanks for showing up. I jumped again, guys. Let's see. I'm so glad I was here to hear you say something nice about Jason. Yeah, strike that from the record. There's nothing nice to say about Jason. Please let that match happen. Ghostface versus Jason Voorhees. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's going to go well for Ghostface. Even if there's a surprise second killer, it's not going to go well for Ghostface. Which Scream movie is better, 2 or 4? I'm going to say 2. 2 wasn't that bad. Now, if I had to decide between 3 and 4, I'm probably going to say that 4 was better, because I don't think it was as long. It was only like, what, an hour and 50 minutes or an hour and 45? Dude, will you play Five Nights at Freddy's? I have not played it. We've got it on our Xbox, but I have not played it. How did you make up the name Survivor's Guild? Oh, man, MJ, that's a big question. Okay, so I started off with soup reviews. And this is actually going to go with what made you want to start a YouTube channel. So I'm going to highlight that a little bit so that I don't get lost again. Okay, so originally my idea was it was called Soup Reviews, which is actually really stupid. This was soup. Ghostface was soup. And the problem with that is that if somebody is looking up horror movie reviews, they're not looking up soup. So I found out that there's actually a boatload of channels that are called, they're not called soup reviews, but there are lots of channels about soup and reviews of soup. So it made that was a real dumb idea on my part. However, I was just going to do reviews similar to how Blood Bath and Beyond does them, because it gave me an excuse to watch more horror movies, and to create something. And the problem there was, I wanted to do reviews, but I wasn't talking about the lighting. I wasn't talking about the acting. I wasn't talking about the staging or any of that kind of stuff. And so it was just me rehashing the story. Um, and essentially making fun of it. Well, then I came up with an idea called Soup Survives, and it was going to be essentially from the slasher's point of view and going, hey, instead of the slasher dying in this way in this movie, I would die, or I would be able to, I would survive this way. And so I was kind of toying around with that idea, but it was never more than a post. And then I got the idea of survivor's guilt because I was like, oh, what if we just went over what your odds were of surviving a certain movie? And so I started writing scripts for that. And I started with some unknown movies like Dark Moon, or wasn't Dark Moon Rising. It was Bad Moon. No, it wasn't Bad Moon. I don't remember what the hell that movie was called, but it had Kane Hodder in it. And Venom, the snake movie. And so I started doing that, and I didn't realize it, but I was essentially counting the kills, except without. And to be honest with you, when I first started those videos, I had never even heard of the Dead Meat YouTube channel. I had heard of the podcast and I listened to it, but I never was on YouTube at that point. When I started listening to the podcast, so I didn't even know what the YouTube channel Dead Meat was. I thought it was just like what the podcast was. And then it was once I saw his channel where I was like, oh, I should probably number these kills and then attach numbers to the kills, and then from there it was baby steps where eventually I got to the Wrong Turn 2 video, which is probably pretty much the layout of my videos from then on forward. So it was a few months there, but that was where Survivor's Guilt came from. It was eventually going to be Soup Survives. Now I'm really sorry, that was a long answer, guys. What is your favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episode? There's two of them. Do you guys remember the episode where there's that pirate in the pool and you could, like, they had to put sulfuric acid in the pool or something just so they could see him and he was killing the kids or whatever? That one was by far my favorite. However, the other one was that school where there were dinosaur eggs. That one I really enjoyed too. I loved that episode. That one was and they had to fight the big triceratops at the end or something. What horror game do you enjoy? None of them. There's not a single horror game that I enjoy. They just give me so much anxiety. Do you ever watch the horror geek Mike Bracken? I do not. I'll have to look into him. Which is better, Predator or Xenomorph or Dolphin? What about a Xenomorph Dolphin? Do you want to see a Xenomorph Dolphin? I want to see Xenomorphs on Earth, their eggs hatching, and you getting a whole variety. Imagine what would happen if a face hugger latched onto a shark and was able to stay attached to it. And then you have a shark chest burster and you've got a shark xenomorph. I think that would be awesome. That is a movie that I want to see. And they need to make like a dozen of them so that they can send aliens into prehistoric times. And then we can get a chest burster velociraptor. I would love to see a xenomorph velociraptor. Scream 4 is better than Scream 2. Disagree. Where am I? Got your Wrong Turn video in my recommended feed about a week ago, and I've been binging them all since. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks, Colonist Prime. Congrats on the 13K. Thank you so much. It jumped again. I apologize. I have to circle back. What was the first game you ever played? Oh, actually, it was Mario. I don't know how, but when I was a kid, we got a Nintendo in our house. I have no idea how because we were really poor. Maybe one of my mom's friends brought it over or something, and we played the original Mario. Aside from that, my brother had an Atari, but I don't remember what kind of games I played on it. Just a cowboy shooting game, I think. Who you doing? Whatever the hell that means. I don't know. Nobody right now. Do you like Predator or Alien? I like them both. To be honest with you, I really like Alien. I really like Predator. I really like Pred-Aliens. I think those are awesome. New Conjuring movie coming out. Let's go. Yes. I'm pretty excited for that. I'll be honest with you. I didn't care for the second one all that much. I really like the first one. Will you ever do an Alien versus Predator kill count? Absolutely. It's not on the list yet, but eventually I will. To be honest, Survivor's Guild is better than Dead Meat because it feels a little more humorous and covers more info from the films. I think that Dead Meat actually covers a whole lot more info from the films than I do. He goes through like all of the special features and stuff. Whereas I totally dropped the ball even on my Ghost Ship video. Somebody brought it to my attention that there are a bunch of bonus features on that that really even included more numbers into the count. So I should probably have gone that route. Any plans for Maniac Cop? Not yet, but I can add it to the list. Do you hate it too when dogs get killed in a horror movie? To be honest with you, I don't really care. I'm like, I don't want to sound heartless or anything, but it really doesn't bother me that much. I really don't. It doesn't bother me that much. The only reason why I have a problem editing it into my videos is because I know that that makes a lot of people really sad. It's kind of the same with children dying in horror movies. It doesn't bother me that much, but I know that it bothers a lot of people. And so that clown video I put up with like no warnings whatsoever. And it was after it was up for a few weeks where I was like, oh crap, I probably should have warned people that there's going to be death in here. By the way, one of the funniest things about that clown video is all of the all of the comments that I get from the jump scare at the very beginning. Hands down, the best comment I've ever received was a dude telling me that the jump scare at the beginning gave him hiccups. That made me laugh. In fact, just the other day, I thought about that comment while I was at work and started laughing out loud. So I get much enjoyment from that. In your opinion, I can't read, guys. I'm so sorry. In your opinion, what does a movie have to have include to count as a horror movie? That's really tricky, dude. Scares mostly. That's kind of the trick because if you're like, there's not a whole lot of difference between thriller and horror. Whereas the only thing that I can think about a horror movie that's different from a thriller is usually with a thriller, the threat is human. Whereas in a horror movie, or it's more thriller is more psychological in some way, whereas a lot more horror is either dealing with a supernatural villain, or some sort of crypto villain, or something along those lines, or gore. I think those will be the main difference. Will you do a count for Willy's Wonderland? Please do it. Hey, guess what? Spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert. Can you hear me? Spoiler alert. Do you hear me at all? Can you hear me? Spoiler alert. The script for the Willy's Wonderland kill count is, as of this morning, it's finished. It's completely finished. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's finished. I have not finished the video yet, but that's going to be the surprise video that's going to be a patrons only for a couple weeks, and then I'll upload it onto the channel. Do you play on Xbox One? Occasionally. I don't play video games that often. Have you seen The Third Eye? I have not. I am aware of the awesome Tool song at Third Eye, though. Is there any movies you never want to cover on this channel? Not really. No. You know what? I'd be really bummed out if I covered up if I covered a movie that got my channel taken down. That would probably bother me. I want to avoid those movies. Willy's Wonderland is a bitch for copyright, so unfortunately, I doubt it will. I've heard that from a few different people, but I'm going to try it anyway. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, if I put it up unlisted and just share the link on my YouTube page, people will probably be able to find it that way. Because I think when you list a video as unlisted, they're not as much to go. They don't go after it quite as much. That being said, YouTube is a tricky beast. Let me just say that. Did you watch the new the Never Hike Alone fan film? Yes, actually, the Mutant Fam did a stream of it or a live tweet, a tweet along with the guy who created that. And that was a really cool experience. We all got to ask him questions. It was pretty awesome. He's a super cool dude. I can't for the life of me remember his name right now, so I apologize. I am just awful. Would you consider Resident Evil 8 Village? I don't, because of the thick lady. Would I consider it horror? Is that what you're asking? I don't know. You should do a Ghostbusters kill count. That one I'll think about it. That's kind of tricky. Aqua Slash is a crazy horror movie that involves high school graduates celebrating by going down to the water park. Yes, I've heard of Aqua Slash. To be honest with you, I saw the trailer for it, I think like a year or two ago, and I was really excited for it. Completely forgot about it because it never came out. Finally, it came out, I think, like just late last year or early this year. I still haven't seen it though, but that was one movie that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Do you think Netflix is ruining horror movies? Here's the problem with that. Here's what I like. I like more horror that's being made. Because that is opening up the opportunity to other creators to make more horror movies. So I appreciate what Netflix is doing because they're buying up essentially, for the most part, for a lot of the part, indie horror movies and then putting them on their streaming service. That being said, they've also put some real stinkers up there and even made some real stinkers. So it could go either way. I don't think it's ruining horror movies any more than people going out and making low budget horror movies are. The Nightmare on Elm Street Child's Play went from slashers to comedies, kind of. Yeah, they really did. Netflix got some good horror movies. Hey, best kill counter. Hey, thanks, Mr. Nice Comments. That is indeed a nice comment. Do you play the Resident Evil games, and do you hate the live action movies as much as I do? Okay, so here's the deal. I played through the first game, the second game, and the third game. And the fourth game, actually. So I played through all four of those. I went to the Resident Evil movie when it first came out in theaters, and I was so disappointed. And then I watched the second one, and I was even more disappointed because I was like, well, you know what? At least they threw in the Nemesis. This should be pretty cool. But when the Nemesis at the end is friend, that kind of crap just really makes me mad. Oh man, that makes me mad even thinking about it. Oh crap. It jumped again, guys. Guess what? Or maybe I'm just dumb and I'm trying to cover up for the fact that I'm dumb. Tale of the Dead Man's Float was my favorite. Yes, that's the one, right? That's the one that takes place in the pool. And also out of the costumes, what made you pick the Ghostface costume? Mostly because Ghostface can be anybody. So I was like, hey, you know what? If I put on a Jason mask, I'm trying to be Jason. If I put on a Freddy mask, I'm trying to be Freddy. If I put on a Michael Myers mask, or I guess a William Shatner mask, I'm trying to be Michael Myers or William Shatner. But if I put on a Ghostface mask, I can be anybody. I can be Soup at that point. And now I can be Ghostfake. Did you like the King Kong movies? The old ones or the new ones? You know what? I liked Skull Island. That one was pretty good. I've only ever watched the Peter Jackson one once. And when I was little, my all-time favorite movie was Godzilla versus King Kong, the old one. And I don't remember if Godzilla had his son in that one, but that might be one of them. Good evening, bro. When's the face reveal? 120 million survivors. Have you played The Forest? That game low-key gives me anxiety. Any horror game gives me anxiety, so I don't play them that much. Hey, Mr. Nice Comments. Thank you again for the nice comments. Do you like Silence of the Lambs? To be honest with you, I haven't watched those in a really long time. I remember really liking Red Dragon. But Silence of the Lambs, that's actually another movie that I saw when I was little. That kind of messed me up a little bit. I shouldn't have been watching that, that's for sure. They need to bring the Predator franchise back to the roots. The last two sucked. There was some crap in the newest one that really sucked. I liked Predators, though. I really liked Predators. I think that they did a good job. Oh, man, I can't remember the director's name now. Robert Rodriguez. I thought he did awesome with Predators. I actually really enjoyed that movie. The twist was a little bit weird at the end with Eric from That 70s Show being the killer. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry if I just spoiled that for you. But I actually thought that was kind of a cool twist because otherwise you're like, why is a doctor with him? Why does that matter? So for him to have been a serial killer, I thought that was actually kind of a sweet twist. It wasn't a lame twist. I'm just an idiot. Livestream playing Resident Evil 7 with the headset on because that is the scariest thing I've ever played. I never picked up Resident Evil 7 because I knew that it would scare the hell out of me. First person horror games, oof. How many subs are you hoping to reach in the near future, and what number do you think it will stop at? I have no idea what it's going to stop at. Here's the thing. Okay, so let me get real with y'all for a second. So the clown video started going crazy, and for a week I watched the numbers climb like crazy, and that actually made and of course because of that, it made my subs climb like crazy too, because it ended up getting like 300,000 views in a week. Now, here's the problem. Somebody commented in the video that the ads were really annoying. I didn't have ads on my videos. So YouTube sent out an email last December that said, even if you're not monetized, they will put ads on your videos. So when I hit 1,000 survivors and the 4,000 watch hours, I monetized, but I didn't turn on ads. So I wasn't making any money off of them because I just didn't want ads. I didn't want ads to be played during my videos. And on top of that, I didn't want to have ads played on my videos because then YouTube takes a closer look at your channel and is like, well, what are you doing here? And then it opens up the door for them to kind of mess with your channel a little bit. So when I found out that they were running ads on my videos, I was like, fine, screw it then. If you decided that my videos are worth having ads on, then I'm going to go ahead and monetize. And that way you're not making a bunch of money off of my videos, and my subscribers are still having to deal with ads in the video. The second that I monetized, the impressions on that clown video dropped. They went off a cliff. And so there's correlation there, and I know that correlation does not equal causation, but there's just a little bit there to kind of make you concerned as to what's going on there, because they didn't have a problem impressing that video when they were making the money off of it. But now that I'm getting a cut, they dropped the impressions on that video quite a bit. Yeah, dude, that's one of those things. So to be honest with you, I'm really happy where I'm at right now. I just have fun making the videos, and I have even more fun responding with you guys in the comments and talking to you guys and doing these things. This is a lot of fun, actually. I'm really enjoying this. But so wherever we go from here, cheers to it, man. I don't know. How many subs? Well, I already read that one. Do you enjoy yours because they have a silly vibe? Oh, I do enjoy yours because hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Watch The Predators, and honestly, it was good, except for the fact that every line that's stolen from the past films were random one-liners. Yeah, that's true. Predators it wasn't anything super new. Well, it was actually quite a bit of new stuff. I don't know, man. I had a lot of fun with it. I had fun. I thought Shane Black kind of dropped the ball with Predators. The Predator, the new one that came out. Yeah, I think so too. I don't think that was a very good movie. Do you like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I love the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They're the most nostalgia that I have for any movie. What's your job? I am a dental technician. So I make crowns and stuff. I'm sitting at a computer all day. So here's the deal. I go to bed at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I wake up at about 1 or 2, and I work on videos for about 5 hours. And then I get ready for work, and I go to work, and I stare at a computer screen for another 8 to 10 hours designing teeth. And then I come home and get a few hours of sleep and do the same thing. So yeah, I'm a dental technician, but there we go. Can you do the Hellraiser franchise, please? I haven't seen all the kill count. Sorry for shouting. No, you're good. Talking at me in all caps. Eventually, I'll probably cover Hellraiser. There's a lot of the big series. And I'm going to have to stop for a drink real quick. There's a lot of the big series that I do plan on covering eventually. It's just going to be a while before I get to them because sitting in for a whole series like that really kind of sucks. There you go. Figure out how that worked. Okay. So let's see. They need to do a Predator movie that takes place in the past. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be very cool. You should probably do Army of the Dead, really popular right now. Yeah, that's true. And occasionally I try to ride on something that's really popular. I will consider it because I still have to watch that movie. I am excited to watch it. What is your opinion on Love, Death, and Robots? Is that anime kind of show on Netflix? Because I haven't watched it, I'll be honest with you. Do you have a 2 feet king alien figure? Because I do. I do not. What is I haven't even heard of a king alien. Are you talking about the queen? Oh, dude, that would be awesome. Like a movie about the Predator that got a pistol from a pirate. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That you're talking about the one in the past. That would be pretty cool. What's your favorite count that you have made? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've got a couple of them, but I really like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space count because it was the background mostly because I got really creative with the background. There's also a few movies that I did. I really liked covering The Thing because The Thing is my favorite horror movie. And what I like about that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to think, there were a few other movies that I really enjoyed covering. 13 Ghosts was one of them. But there's just a few movies that I have a blast covering, and then when I go back because somebody did a timestamp and said that they laughed at something, and then I realize a joke that I made, and it actually cracks me up because I'm really into myself. Um, I like that. I like going back and watching a video that I made 6 months ago and completely forgetting the jokes that I made in it and having them catch me off guard. Um, but I'm gonna have to go with Killer Clowns from Outer Space on that one. I also really like the clown one for obvious reasons. To be honest with you, the clown one almost didn't come out because through the process of editing it, I kind of went, nobody's gonna want to watch this, and how wrong was I? Hellraiser. Oh, it skipped again. Um, oh my goodness. It skipped a long ways. I'm gonna have to try to catch up. Jeff, Hellraiser Survivor's Guilt, please. Eventually, I promise I will. It'll be a while. Main character. Have you watched any Crypt TV? I have not watched any Crypt TV. I'm gonna have to. Willy Wonka kill count? No, I'm not covering Willy Wonka. What was your favorite kill count that you've ever done? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Until I can think of some of the other ones. Let me actually see here if I can navigate away from the live stream without screwing up my anything. I apologize, guys. This is actually, yeah. Okay, cool. So, to be honest with you, I just went back and looked and I already forgot what I was looking at. Oh, the Deep Blue Sea ones. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I loved doing the Deep Blue Sea ones too. I think I went a little nuts on the backgrounds there, but I really loved doing doing those Deep Blue Sea movies. New subscriber, the real fresh. Hey, thanks, dude. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Gotta go now, but I'm loving the channel, and you're one of my favorite YouTube channels. So keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to the new video. By the way, I think Xenomorph Sharks and Xenodragons should be a thing, right? Ethan Ab YT, that would be awesome. I think that'd be fantastic. What is the most? What is the most scariest film you've seen? That's a really good question, dude. Oh man, I know there's. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but there was a movie that I watched a while back that really just Paranormal Activity. I'm gonna be honest with you, because of certain houses that I grew up in, young when I was little, Paranormal Activity really messed me up. The first one that I watched, and I watched it home alone, and then I was gonna go to my sister's house to pick up my son, and I went to the bathroom. And when I was walking out of the bathroom, I flipped off the light switch and I stopped because there was a shadow in front of me. And I was like, oh no, what's going on? And I looked back in the bathroom and the light was still on. And I was like, oh crap, dude, I'm dead. And so I flipped the light switch back on and then flipped it off and the light went off. And so I got the hell out of there. And then my wife shows up and I'm telling her, I'm like, oh, dude, this happened and this happened and this happened. And she was like, oh yeah, that light switch has been having problems for weeks. I was like, that's the first time it ever happened to me. So of course I had to correlate with the film that I just watched. So it scared the hell out of me. So I'm going to say right there, that's the scariest movie I've ever seen. So much so that I have not watched any of the sequels. Do you plan on making an upload schedule, or will you upload whenever you feel like it's ready? So I do. I try to upload every 2 weeks on Thursday mornings. Occasionally I'll do a premiere on a Wednesday evening. But this last Zombievers video, I actually uploaded early. So I uploaded it, I think, on Wednesday morning, because the sponsor wanted me to put it out. So they just asked, they're like, hey, could you get it out any earlier than Thursday? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll just put it up now, because I actually got it done early. Usually I'm working on them the morning of and then uploading them. So I'm going to create a schedule. I'm actually finally getting ahead of the schedule. So I'm gonna be able to start making it more consistent. Someone in the games beat a tyrant in hand-to-hand combat too, but he was weak. Wesker's son, so I didn't hate that as much. Yeah, it wasn't the beating. If you're talking about the nemesis in Resident Evil 2, it wasn't the hand-to-hand combat that drove me nuts. It was the fact that she was like, "Don't you remember me? Don't you remember me? We were friends." And it's like, for one, you guys were friends in one movie. I don't think there was any history behind that. And then for two, I was like, "You're the nemesis. You don't just squash her like a bug." That I really hated that. It just put such a bad taste in my mouth. Dumpster Dan, I hope that you're having a good day as well. Just ran across the street delivering tea. Good. Hopefully you looked both ways. Have you, if you didn't look both ways, you've got very little odds of facing survivor's guilt. Have you considered getting a custom ghost face mask? Maybe demon ghost face or samurai ghost face or zombie ghost face? All right. So, spoiler alert right there. The zombie ghost face is a thing. It just hasn't premiered yet. It will premiere though. But yeah, any of those other variations, I am trying to figure out some ways that I can vary the mask for different episodes. Um, have you played the Silent Hill games? No, I didn't. Do you curse? Occasionally. I don't on the channel. And it's very rare that I do in real life. Um, just not a thing that I do very often. Do you like the underrated Alien versus Predators game? And do you think it should be called Predators versus Aliens? That's a really good question. I haven't played the 2010 Aliens versus Predators. The last one that I played came out in the early 2000s, I think, and it was fine. But it was fine. It wasn't as awesome as I'd hoped. And it was really disorienting playing the alien because you could climb all over the walls and stuff and your vision was real weird. I just remember that. What movie could you watch over and over again and not get bored of it? Jaws is one of them. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another one. To be honest with you, Psycho Gorman, that's another movie that you need to watch. I can't remember who asked me earlier, but if you're looking for a horror movie to watch, that just came out on Shudder, I think yesterday. Go watch Psycho Gorman. That movie is awesome. Psycho Gorman is a movie that I have watched over and over because it is so funny. GhostFake, play all ads. I'll watch and click them for you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Crazy Dominguez. Dumpster Dam. I can see GhostFake's eyes. I know you can't in my regular videos because the mask is layered, but I can't see through it. And I was like, I'm gonna have to read comments. I can't wear that mask. So this is mask number 3, I think. And if you could tell, I cut a little hole in the nose so that my glasses don't fog up. It's that's just a little inside baseball for you guys. I have an ad blocker, so basically it doesn't matter. Awesome, Daniel Weiss. I think that is probably the best way to go. I played Alien Isolation when I was 10 years old, and 3 years ago, the game scared the hell out of me because I was scared the entire time I was playing that game, and then I just barely got to where the xenomorph opened or it came down the chute, and at that point it was game over. I was done. Game over, man. Game over. What's the name for your fan base? The Survivors, actually. So you guys are Survivors if you subscribe to the channel. And then the patrons, if you sign up for the $1 a month, you're also a survivor. There might be more tiers eventually, but I want to make more content because I feel guilty even asking for people to give $1 a month. So I'm trying to make bonus content for them. So if I was going to put a tier for $5 a month, there would have to be a whole lot more content on there. And like, if I was going to do even more than that, you'd have to basically get a ghost fake mask in order for it to be something that didn't make me feel terrible. Classic horror movies do you think has started to fail in present day? Wait, what? What classic horror movies do you think has started to fail in present day? Crookline 4462. You'll have to explain what you mean. I'm not sure. Oh, it jumped again. Cool. I found it. All right. You guys are slowing down, and I appreciate that because it's easier for me I'm not as far behind. What do you think the Terminator games? I think they're the worst except Salvation. Are you talking about the movies? Or are you talking about the games? Because I haven't really played the games. He's a wizard, ghost. He's a wizard, Harry. Or you're a wizard. Even though the plot of almost all of the games are reach the evacuation point. Oh. Yeah, see, I don't remember the Terminator games as well. Do you watch anime? I don't. I never got really into anime aside from like Pokemon for obvious reasons. What movies are on your schedule? I could tell you that, but I'd have to kill you. Again, this is subject to change. I'll just give you a spoiler alert. I don't want to give you a spoiler alert. I don't want to. I don't want to tell you. You'll just have to be surprised. Um, what movies are scheduled? What do you like to see? The Promise page. Would you like to see something, dude? To be honest with you, I really like the Piranha franchise. I actually wanted to cover them last summer, but I ended up covering the Deep Blue Sea movies instead. And the Piranha movies did not end up on this year's schedule. So I would really love to cover all 4 of those movies. But they're especially the Piranha 3D. That one is just so over the top. I have not seen Double D yet, though. Do you hate it when you wake up at 3 at night? Sometimes I hate it, but to be honest with you, if I wake up later than that, I feel like I wasted most of my day. Because, like, for instance, this morning I woke up at 2, and this week, because I had to go into work early, I was waking up at midnight so that I could get a few hours of editing done, and then going to work at like 4 or 5 in the morning and working until 5 at night. Would you meet James A. Janice? I'd love to. I think he's awesome. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. What did you think of Jack Frost 1 and 2? They're ridiculous. I haven't seen Jack Frost 1 in a really long time, and Jack Frost 2. I've had a few people claim that a couple of the movies that I cover seem like fever dreams. Jack Frost 2 feels like a fever dream to me. Would you ever do a how to beat video? Probably not anytime soon. The Survivor's Guilt videos, they take enough of my time. Just watched Army of the Dead. Am I missing something? That movie was pretty awful. I've heard a lot of good things about Ascrobo Baggins, but I'm going to have to watch it for myself and see. Is it at least fun? Is it fun? Do you think they could have done a better job on Conjuring 2? I really think that they could have. I think they laid in really heavy into. Okay, here's the thing that I don't like about the Conjuring movies is that oh no, what happened? Here's the thing that I don't really like about the Conjuring movies is I don't like the Warrens. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the Warrens because they weren't like that. The Warrens in the movies, I like. I like them. They seem like great stand-up people. But the Warrens in real life, I really don't like. And I think The Conjuring 2 just kind of sours it for me, knowing that they were at that house for like a day and the family asked them to leave. It was something along that line, unless I'm wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure that's how that went down. Just realized the meaning behind the name Survivor's Guilt, and it's blowing my mind. It blew my mind too when I figured out what I was doing. I hope you do the CGI Resident Evil movies, and if you do, watch Vendetta. Oh, dude! Whoa! Hey, thanks. For the super chat. I think that's a super chat. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how most of this works. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Avi Nasser, you remind me of Dead Meat and Spooky Rice. Hopefully you will grow to big horror channel in the future. Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate that. Thank you. And Spooky Rice is actually a channel that I really need to look into because I've heard that I would like it. Weird question, but whatever this is a Q&A, do you work out? I did for a while. I haven't in a really long time. And in recent events with my family getting COVID and then actually, I shouldn't have said that out loud. The C19 virus, and then my wife hurting her ankle. I've been eating like crap, so I am so bloated, I can't even close my jacket. So there you go. There's some inside baseball for you. But workout, I really need to pick that up again, but life has just found a way to keep me from doing that. They need to make a second Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I think so too, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Are you blind? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've got glasses under here. My eyes aren't too terrible, but I've noticed that ever since I started wearing glasses, they've just consistently gotten worse. So there you go. How about that? Which would you choose to watch on repeat for a day if you were made to? Jeepers Creepers 3 or Zombievers? I like Zombievers, so I'm going to pick Zombievers. Jeepers Creepers 3 is not that fun of a watch. It's actually a little bit boring for the most part. I like Zombievers. That was a pretty easy question. Throw another harder one at me. Movies and Train Studios. Woo! Mask Opan, please. Nope. Have you played the Outlast games? I have not. Why specifically a Ghostface mask? Because Ghostface can be anybody. You're nice to listen to and talk to. Hey, thank you, Daniel Weiss. I appreciate that. I appreciate the comments that you have been sharing on my videos, and we've been be able to go back and forth. Show us a POV of what you're seeing. I don't know how to do that. Oh, from the mask. I'll have to see if there's a way for me to go ahead and do that. We'll find out. You should cover some M. Night movies. I've thought about that. I really want to cover Signs. And I was thinking about covering what is that one about the old people that he did? The Visit? Yeah, The Visit. So those were a couple that I've been wanting to cover. So maybe they'll come up in the future. Have you ever heard of the television show Very Scary People? I have not. Sounds interesting. How is it? Is it good? Like what classic movie series do you think have slowly become less popular over the years? That is a really great question. Man, that have become less popular over the years. That is a really great question. To be honest with you, I think, dude, I don't know. I'll have to think on that one. They've become less popular over the years. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about that. Is bad teeth your worst fear? No, not really. I don't want to have bad teeth. My teeth are pretty decent. So it's it's kind of give and take. But no, bad teeth aren't that bad. I'll just make you new ones, and I'll make myself new ones if I have to. But so far, my teeth are in pretty good shape. Least, by the way, brush your teeth. I could give a crap less about you flossing, but just brush your teeth. That should be good enough. And don't let sugar sit on them. You'll be all right. Least favorite wrong turn movie. To be honest with you, I really didn't like the remake or the reboot, whatever it was. That movie just made me mad. It was like they went for pandering rather than good character development, and that made me mad. It made me mad that I'm happy that there was a strong female character. However, the way that you made her strong was that she was strong from the get-go. She was the only likable character, and she never changed. She was the only one that made any smart decisions in that movie, and then everybody else that she was with had to be a complete idiot. And it's like it didn't make her look better. It just made the movie more annoying. I didn't like it. I really didn't like that one. Other than that, number 5. I really didn't care for number 5 either. Prawn franchise scared me for life. Scarred me for life, if I could read. It made me afraid of pools for over a year. Yeah, I don't blame you. Even watching Jaws makes me not want to jump into a pool. Any kind of water. Man, I won't even take a bath. I always go to bed at 3 a.m. and always manage to wake up on time for school. That's rough, dude. Good on you, but that's rough. Wait, I just remembered when I was alone, my uncle came around and back with blood pumps, ghost face mask, and stood behind me holding a knife and scared me, and I have a lot of anxiety from it. Fence idiot, I don't blame you. That would give me a lot of anxiety too. Do you have the ghost face knife? I do not. I do not right now. Love you, man, for your awesome. You're awesome. Hope your YouTube career takes off, and I'll be right there with you. Thank you, Alpha Team. I appreciate that. Did you play Friday Night? Am I lagging? Is it lagging a little bit right now? Friday night. I'm not sure. Did you play Friday Night Funking You Lagging? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. Don't know hype. All right. Will you ever do a face reveal? 80 million subs. New subscriber, Bell. Thank you so much. Congrats on the milestone. Love your videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Dumpster Dan, face reveal, 120 million subs. Hello. Are whales epic? Whales are pretty epic. I will be 100% honest with you. If I saw a whale in real life, it would probably scare me just as bad as seeing a shark in real life. Anything bigger than me, hell, anything even smaller than me, usually I'm nervous about. Love you so much. You're awesome. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Alpha Team. If you were stuck in a horror movie, which one would it be? I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind being in the Killer Clowns from Outer Space universe. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'll have to think more about that. But you know what? I also wouldn't mind being in the Deep Blue Sea universe. That seems like fun. I'm not going to lie. Even with sharks in the water, I like being in water. It is fun. I'm terrified of it, and I'm terrified of sharks, but I like being in water. What is your favorite genre of music? If metal, you should check out Jonathan Young. I will have to check out Jonathan Young. I do indeed like metal. I don't listen to music a whole lot, though. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Keeper of the Red Betta. Did you make your mask? Yeah, I just put hot glue on it. That's pretty much it. I cut out the mouth and some of the nose, and then I usually double layer the eyes so that you can't see in them. And then I put some fabric over the mouth, but when I'm making this hot glue mask, I don't need to put fabric on the mouth. So there we go. Whales are epic, especially his most recent Final Frontier. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Stop spamming. Yeah, a simple whale. I think I answered your question. Whales are indeed epic. Bell eats whales. Are eels epic? I think eels are actually kind of cool too. Among Us movie. Yeah. Somebody sounds like somebody almost just wrecked outside my house. I eat whales with rice and veggies. Okay, so I'm gonna fly through some more questions, and then I'm gonna have to jump over and start answering the questions from the email, and then I'm gonna probably wrap it up after that. Spelled whale spam. Your lips are bigger than your life expectation. True story. I've got huge lips. I've got what do you? I don't remember the saying. Never mind. I'm gonna pass. I know it helps me to do my job. Whales so sad. Now you guys are all talking about whales. Do you hate snakes? No, actually, I love snakes. I love reptiles. I think they're just about my favorite type of animal. Not necessarily snakes, but reptiles in general. Iguanas, turtles, lizards, all that stuff. I really love those things. I want to know what class movie series you think have become less popular over the years. You must answer. Oh, if you're gonna make me answer, I was gonna say, to be honest with you, it feels like Silence of the Lambs doesn't get any of the Hannibal movies don't get the respect that they deserve. But the thing about that is then Hannibal came out and they get a tremendous amount of respect. So that almost seems like a non-answer, or at least a not legitimate answer. You know what? Let's go with what is it called? Fire in the Sky. If you've ever seen Fire in the Sky, it's not a series, but man, that movie is terrifying. Do a stream of you reading SCP. What do you mean? Yeah, Bell, what do you mean? SCP? I'm missing something here. Do you have any stories that has happened to you that would consider paranormal? Yeah, there's a few of them. We used to live in this house that was mega haunted. And there was this situation where my mom was running a daycare and the cabinets in the kitchen started opening and closing and slamming and stuff. And she yelled at my stepbrother, and she was then surprised, like, oh, because he was sitting right in front of her. And then it stopped. And that was the same house where I have my first memory, where I was younger than 2. And I was laying in my crib, and I saw someone standing at the end of my room. And I knew that they weren't supposed to be there. And I started screaming and trying to dig into my crib to kind of hide myself. And I remember it so vividly, even though I was so young. And my mom backs it up. Well, she's not alive anymore, but she did back it up. And she was like, yeah, I remember when that happened. Because you cried and screamed about it. And I screamed until my parents came into the room and they got me. But that house was one where my family saw shadow people all over the place. And then there was another house where I would be up early in the morning, getting ready for school and stuff, and I'd hear my name being called, and then I'd check, and everybody else was asleep. So there's some weird things going on there. I don't know if I'll call it paranormal because I don't think that fits into my particular worldview right now, but it is something that I certainly can't explain. You're loading too much. Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm going to scroll through the questions real quick. The only thing I found scary about Jaws was the toilet paper roll of a shark. It did, yeah, that's fair. The less shark, the better. Our 30 old man, somebody is. Wait, it's been an hour and 18 minutes actually, believe it or not. I read the post when you changed all the kill counts to survival stats. Yeah, I changed them to survival stats because some people had been mentioning that it seemed like I was specifically with the titling of the videos, you've got the movie name, date, and then kill count. And unfortunately, that's just the best way to feed the algorithm so that the algorithm will pick up your videos. Because it knows what a kill count is. It doesn't know what a survival stat is. So I'm just kind of hoping at the very least, I got I've got a good crew of 13.5 thousand survivors. So at the very least, it's going to keep coming out to you guys one way or another. So I'm all right with that. What was your inspiration for starting a white YouTube channel, James A. Janice? It wasn't James A. Janice, believe it or not. I only found Dead Meat after I had started the YouTube channel. My original inspiration was Bloodbath and Beyond. So the thumbnail is very dark. Yes, it is pretty dark. What inspired you to do YouTube and start this career? It's not really a career yet, but it was just mainly wanting to create stuff and not waste my time. Thank you all for reading all my questions and comments. I'm so happy I was able to stumble upon a small YouTube channel before it went big. We, the survivor, will watch your career with great interest. Thank you so much, Avi Nasser. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I will see your comments. You don't have to do super chats. I promise. If I could speak, you don't have to do those, man. If you don't want to, I will definitely see your comments. If I see your comments, I will definitely read them. But I seriously appreciate that. Thank you so much. Show us your son. Nope. Do you like the Final Destination, the first one? I'm talking about the whole series. I do. I think they're fun. That was my dishwasher. I really like number two. Number two was one of my best memories from the theater. Watching all that carnage take place is just awesome. I really dig it. Do you think The Wrong Turn is equivalent to The Hills Have Eyes? I think it's pretty similar. I do think that they're pretty similar. I think especially not with the original Hills Have Eyes, but with the remakes. It's very soon or very close. Sorry, I'm reading and talking and it's not working out for my brain. Do you read SCP? No, I'm not sure what SCP is. SCP is famous. Scary Pastas? Is that what you're talking about? Scary Pastas? I don't watch scary, or I don't read Scary Pastas. Okay, he sounds like Patrick Mahomes. Somebody else has mentioned that, dude. I can't remember what video it was. It might have been the My Bloody Valentine. They mentioned that I sound like Patrick Mahomes, and I was like, oh, I don't know who that is. But sure enough, I do share that voice with him. The Russia Sleep Experiment. I think I've heard of that one. It's been a while though. What's your race, dude? I don't really care for NASCAR. When I was a kid, if I was dressing gown, I was on the door to see the Grim Reaper and I in the dark. Oh, that's terrifying. When you saw the figure, it was me trying to give you bread. Dude, I'm so sorry about that. I've spent my whole life thinking that you were a horrible monster that lived in my room. If you were to have a sit down with any serial killer in real life, who would it be? Dude, probably Dahmer. I'm a little bit curious what people taste like, just to be honest with you guys. It's okay. You deserve it, dude. Thank you so much, Avi Nasser. I really appreciate that. It's like a foundation that contains monsters and stuff. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay. So SCP is that, or is that like a broader scary pasta thing? You'll have to explain. Do you play any video games? When I do play video games, sometimes I play Fortnite, but mostly Grand Theft Auto, just dinking around, not doing anything serious. SCP is a world with thousands of monsters and stuff. What can you read and watch out about? Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Do you watch Courage the Cowardly Dog? I did watch Courage the Cowardly Dog. I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't like it before I watched it, and then when I started watching it, I was like, oh, actually, this is a lot more fun than I thought it would be, and so I really loved it. Among Us, Fortnite sus, yeah, dude, it really is. I don't like it very much anymore, but I started pretty early on, and I think it was like season 1 when I started. Do you play GTA on Xbox or PS4? If you do want to play, not right now, dude. I don't have like barely any time, especially with the Grand Theft Auto Online, because that just takes forever to get into. Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback for the Chiefs. Yeah, I think I had to look him up and listen to one of his press conferences or something just so I could see what everybody was talking about. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the questions that came in through the Proton Mail, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and we will probably try to do these on a more regular basis. Okay. So this is Cade. I'm a big fan of horror and your videos. I'm sure you've probably gotten this question, but I wanted to ask, what's your favorite horror movie? If you end up answering that one already, then my follow-up would be, who's your favorite horror movie icon? Okay, so favorite horror movie is The Thing, and I'm going to have to say that my favorite horror movie icon is also The Thing, because the Thing is just, it's awesome. in a way, because most aliens are kind of anthropomorphic. They have a lot of human qualities, even the xenomorph, but the xenomorph has a reason for that. But the thing just doesn't. It just kind of takes over everything and then borrows different pieces. So by far, hands down, the 1982 The Thing, hands down my favorite horror movie and also my favorite horror movie icon. But if you're asking for slasher, then probably Ghostface. But also Victor Crowley is pretty awesome too. The Ginger Ninja asks, why did you start Survivor's Guilt? Basically, to make the use out of my time, to go ahead and do something more productive than just sit around and do nothing. What video did you enjoy making the most? I think the Killer Clowns from Outer Space video, just because of the way that the background came together, it was so much fun, and I was so excited to be able to figure that out and make that happen. What was your first horror movie and what got you into horror? It was actually, so to be honest with you, there's two answers to this. First horror movie is either Nightmare on Elm Street 2 from my memory or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Those were the two that had the biggest impact on my early horror life. And what got me into horror, to be honest with you, the horrors of real life got me into horror movies. And I've had a love affair with horror ever since. What's your favorite horror movie? The Thing? How much time did you put into making your videos? Dude, these videos take like 30 to 40 hours to make. I think that I'm finally chipping down into the 20s to make these videos because I'm getting a little bit quicker about it. But it takes a lot of time, 20, 25 hours, if not a little bit more. Is it just you doing the videos or do you have help? It is just me. Although I will be honest with you, I do consider the support that my wife gives me to be helping in a lot of ways. And that is from Chris Denson Rogers. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate those questions. This is from Video Creep. If you guys haven't checked out Video Creep, his channel is just amazing. He is an amazing human being, beautiful human being. He said, "You're such a beautiful star." That gets me so hot. Yes, of course. Big congratulations to you, man. My questions are as follows. What connects you to the horror what connects you to horror so deeply that this is where you found your passion? So it was basically the horrific childhood that I had that really made me love horror, because there's something, it's kind of dark and twisted, but watching just even worse stuff happen to somebody else brought me a lot of comfort when I was growing up. Plus, I liked being scared. When will you hold Video Creep's hand and share a milkshake with me? I am a little bit of a germaphobe, so I'll tell you what, we could get one milkshake, 2 straws. Okay, so one milkshake, 2 straws. I will take the first sip and then the rest is yours. That's just kind of how I do that. What movie do you believe at the time of your reading this question has the best special effects? The Thing. All practical. The gore is amazing. And just the idea of what the Thing does, and seeing the different parts mixed around inside it as it's stopped mid transition is just too much awesome. You're the effing S, my man. I'm so pumped to see you go even further. Thank you so much, Video Creep. He is really, honestly, a beautiful, awesome dude. He is one of the coolest dudes that I've ever met. What is your favorite non-horror movie? My hands down favorite movie ever that is not horror is Arlington Road. If you have not seen Arlington Road, prepare for a very dark ending, but it is an amazing movie. Hey, could you do a kill count on the Hellraiser movies? I will add them to the list. Okay, that doesn't show up anything. Favorite song? Yeah. Okay, favorite song? Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna go with Anima by Tool. That is my favorite song, but Schism is really good too. Parabola, pretty much anything by Tool. But my favorite song is probably Anima. Whoops, sorry, made a mistake. Anyway, why did you pick the ghost face as a mascot? Just basically, this is from Heretic, because anybody can be Ghostface. Oh, cool. All right. What was the film you most liked making a kill count of? Yeah, probably Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Also, another thing that was fun about Killer Clowns from Outer Space is that it was different than the count that Dead Meat did. So I was watching the Dead Meat video at the same time because I wanted to make sure that I didn't make any of the same jokes. Because I really didn't want it to seem like I was ripping them off. But I really actually liked that we had a different amount of kills for the ending. What future films would you like to make a kill count on? I would love to do a kill count of the Lake Placid movies. And those would cover also the Anaconda movies because there is a little bit of a crossover there. And I am super, I'm pretty excited for that. So, okay. All right, cool. So that covers the email questions. Guys, I got really lost in here. Crap, there's an Among Us movie. There is an Among Us movie? Or are you talking about the thing? Please review Piranha. I do want to review Piranha. I might soon. In fact, I'm thinking about, because I'm going to cover a quadrilogy coming up in a couple months or a month or something. And I'm thinking about just having a vote on which one that will be. But at the same time, I kind of don't want to do that because the series that I'm going to cover has not been covered yet, and it was suggested by a survivor, so I'm probably going to do it. Are you going to watch A Quiet Place 2 next week? I'm not going to go to the theaters to watch that. I'm not worried about going to the theaters. I would love to go to the theaters. I just really don't like spending money on theaters, and I don't know if that movie's going to be streaming. If it's streaming, I might think about doing that. Love the channel, bro. I regularly go back and binge videos while I'm playing games. Dude, oh man, Lofus Crambuncle? Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you guys like the videos. If you still have Netflix, you should watch Sweet Home. Very good TV show. Good gore and monsters. Sweet Home. I have not heard of that. I'll have to check that out. Love your content. Thank you, Nutcracker306. Forrest Gump is my favorite, to be honest. Fair enough. There's a video of Shriek versus Ninja and Obama. That sounds really interesting. If you have Netflix, you should watch Sweet Home, Good Gore. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Describe yourself in 3 words. I'm sorry, ugly, dumb. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. I try to be kind. Um, I try to esteem others as worth more than myself, but I don't know if I can do it in 3 words. Ugly is gonna have to be one of them. I'm not a pretty man. I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. 3 words. I try to be funny, and I laugh a lot. There you go. So uh, there's some stories there too that are funny to me. Is it wrong to believe aliens exist? I don't think it's wrong. It's one of those things, dude. It's everybody's kind of got different opinions on that. I haven't seen the evidence, and to be honest with you, the stuff that's coming out recently, I kind of think is part of something bigger. That the government is just going to uh, that the government's just going to use. I don't trust the government. How do you feel about the pandemic? Dude, look, there's a lot going on, and I'm going to try to stay apolitical. I think that it was dealt with poorly, and I think that there are certain states that should be investigated for the way that they dealt with it. Flaming Donkey 25, thank you so much for this question. It gets into some really serious garbage that we're dealing with right now, but I will I'll be 100% honest with you. I think that it was the government got a lot of power during the pandemic, and they're not going to be giving it back anytime soon. Survivor's Guild. It is Dumpster Dan. How can you possibly review, or can you possibly review the Son franchise or Escape Room? They are some of my favorites. Also, tomorrow is my birthday. Happy birthday, Dumpster Dan! Happy birthday tomorrow. Saw and Escape Room. I will put those on my list, but it will be a while before I get to them. I have not watched meme review. I have not watched Army of the Dead yet. Bell, my 3 words are the big gay. There you go. Silent Prisoner, thank you for answering my questions and keep up the great work. You're awesome. Thank you, Silent Prisoner. I think you're also with a silent P, which seems ironic with your name, but you are also awesome. Thank you very much. All of you guys are awesome. I seriously appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. I am going to describe yourself when angry. Pathetic. That one word for that, pathetic. I get angry about really dumb stuff, which is stupid because I'm usually able to stay pretty calm about really big stuff. So whenever I get angry, it's always something I regret later because it's never worth it. Kill count for The Thing just appeared right now in my recommendation, and it's yours. Nice, gonna watch it. Hey, thanks, man. Jerwell Aldrin Batista, thank you so much. Get your foil hats, boys. Pretty much, dude. It's this last year and a half has turned me into quite a conspiracy theorist. If a real horror movie, murder or monster existed and was in your family, Who would you be related to? That's a really great question. I want to come up with like a creative answer here, but I can't think of one. Um, that's a really great question. Let me think about that for a second. And we're probably going to wrap it up in like 6 minutes. My cat just bit me. That's what cats do, dude. Cats are as trustworthy as the government. Do you hate sex scenes? Not much, but it's just so often that they're not worthwhile. Like it's not. So there's also some to this where it they don't bother me, but they almost never add to the movie. There's very rarely is there a sex scene that should have been in the movie, or that added something to it. It just seems usually that it's there for gratuity, which is what people usually want from horror movies. Poor cat. Do you have a blood pump mask? I do not. The cat is nice, but the cat bit you. Do you think that maybe you have been brainwashed by that cat for you to still think it's nice after it's bitten you? If I got bit by an alligator, the last thing I would do after getting bit by that alligator is think, but that alligator was nice. Um, Honestly, if UFOs are real and they drop the thing, I'm going to book a flight to a deserted island in the middle of nowhere. Where do you think aliens like to hang out? Hmm? Um, do you like pineapple on your pizza? To be honest with you, I don't mind it, but dude, I just like cheese pizza. If I have cheese pizza with nothing on it, I am happy. I was eating. Well, so was your cat. So, do you ever bite your cat when you're eating? Last question. What is your favorite non-horror movie? Mine is Almost Famous. Almost Famous is pretty good. But mine is Arlington Road. I really love Arlington Road, and I really love the bleak ending. Maybe you were bullying the cat. The cat was stealing my food. I think the cat was making you food, dude. If you were a killer clowns from outer space, where would you hide? Probably the circus. That seems like the most logical place if you really want to blend in. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind going into a drugstore. That seemed to work out pretty well. Cat works for the government. Well, I'm going to say, yeah, nice Q&A. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. See ya, Alex Nunez. Much love from Puerto Rico, brother. Hey, thank you. I'm going to butcher your name. Javanel Negron. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love seeing other people or people from other countries that are enjoying the videos. I love that. That makes me really happy. What horror movie game do you like the best? To be honest with you, I love Alien Isolation because I think it just matches the aesthetic so well. But it's just too scary for me to play. So real quick, let's see why do you and Dead Meat ever DM each other and talked about doing a video? To be honest with you, early on, I sent him an email because I was having troubles uploading the crawl video because it was getting copyright issues because of the footage that I put in it. And I sent him an email just asking, hey, how do you include this footage in your video without it getting your video taken down and stuff like that? But I never got a response. But he's very busy, so I don't blame him at all. So yeah, we've never DM'd technically. I guess I've sent him an email. I'm going to stay until the end because survivors. Thank you so much. What do you like? What do you like? Harry Potter? I don't know exactly what that means. Jason versus Wesker. Unfortunately, that's probably going to go to Jason. Do you like GTA 5 Speedrunner and Dark Viper? Are you heard of them? I've never heard of them. Fire kills almost every alien in any horror movie. True. But what if that alien was made out of fire? You need a sponsor. I did have a sponsor on the last video. I had Atlas VPN, which is actually really neat because I was looking into VPNs anyway, and they approached me, so that was pretty exciting. Love your content, dude, but I got to go to sleep. Cheers from Sweden. Avi Nasser, thank you so much. And again, I love hearing that people from Sweden or Puerto Rico or the Philippines are enjoying these videos. Thank you so much for being in this. Do you like the scary parts of Harry Potter? I think the Harry Potter movies are pretty good, but I don't pay that much attention to them. I've watched all of them, but I'm not super into them. Yes, if it's made out of fire, then you're screwed. Yeah, if you meet an alien that's made out of fire, we're definitely screwed. Jason versus the Thing. It's going to go to the Thing, hands down. Jason, wouldn't stand a chance against the thing. Have you ever thought of on making a kill count but haven't did it? Yeah, actually, there's several that I was gonna do. I was gonna start Lake Placid, but then the vote went to Wrong Turn, so then I started covering the Wrong Turn series. Um, and then yeah, there's a few others that I've skipped. The Piranha movies. Trying to think, I was gonna do one just recently for Fire in the Sky and Arachnophobia, but I skipped those for a couple other ones. So yeah, I would need to uh so I'll have to look into that. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at with that one. Sorry, the comment that I read was, "Mate, I would debate you for years on Wesker versus Jason and why Wesker would own most of the horror villains at the same time." Dude, then I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give it to Wesker then. I have no skin in this game, and I don't want Jason to win. So I'm gonna trust that you know something that I don't, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you have Wesker. Have you played Dead by Daylight? Actually, I think I did play that for a little while. That was a pretty fun game. Is that the one where you're either the one killer or the four, 3 or 4 people trying to put generators back together and escaping? That was a pretty fun one. My cat versus alien. You know what? What if your cat got a chest burster and then we got a cat alien? Wouldn't that be terrifying? Do you hate spiders? Yeah, dude, I'm not a big fan of spiders. They freak me out. They give me the heebie-jeebies. He knew some of us are from the Philippines. The cat does work for the government. Also love from the Philippines. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Will you make a video about Jaws? Yes, Jaws will eventually be covered on here. So, hey, Video Creep, thanks for stopping by. Hey, dude. By the way, guys, a reminder, Video Creep is a beautiful person. You should go check out his channel. He's got awesome content on it, and he's probably just about the coolest dude you could ever know. Do you like the Leprechaun movies, even if it has low budget and bad editing? To be honest with you, I've not seen most of the Leprechaun movies. I liked the first one. It actually scared me because I was little when I saw it. But I haven't really seen any after that, I don't think. I think I saw parts of The Hood, and that was it. Uh, maybe I'm thinking about the you'll you'll have to explain to me who Wesker is because I'm starting for I'm not sure I know. Do you thoughts of PH Lovecraft movies? And they're considering covering some. To be honest with you, I would love to cover Color Out of Space. Because that movie was it was beautiful. It was fantastic. Jonesy the cat survived a xenomorph. That's true. However, I'd like to see a cat chest burster. Michael Myers versus the Thing. Yeah, very one-sided fight. I think that the Thing wins that every single time. Different cat. Do you own a pet shark? I do not own a pet shark. In fact, right now I don't have any pets because I have kids. No, we had a dog not too long ago. But unfortunately we had to get rid of him. He was a good boy though. Flaming Donkey 25. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good evening. I will take that love and bathe in it like a vampire in blood. Hey, cool. I'll give you some blood too to bathe in if you want it. Chest bursted cat versus predator. Dude, you know what? Can that chest bursted cat wait, is it the chest bursted cat or is it the alien cat? Because if it's a xenomorph cat, can that xenomorph cat lay eggs? In which case, I want to see a xenomorph cat pred alien. I think that'd be awesome. What are your thoughts of Cthulhu? I think that it is awesome. Um, I I haven't read all of the stories involving Cthulhu, but I've read a few of them, and I actually really enjoy it, mainly because you don't get a good idea of what Cthulhu is. Most of what we've seen, I think, is just a fan kind of representation where you honestly just know that it's a horrifying creature of some sort that's gigantic. So yeah, I think Cthulhu is awesome. I don't think that you could ever do a really good Cthulhu movie. I know that there's a couple out there, but I haven't seen them yet. An average person with military equipment versus Michael Myers. I don't know, man, because it seems like Michael Myers can't die. I'm gonna have to go with Michael Myers on that one. Just look up Wesker versus Chris. Are you talking about Wesker from Resident Evil? Because I guess the only Wesker that I'm aware of in Resident Evil is from Resident Evil 1, or maybe he pops up in Resident Evil 3. I know he was in the books too, so I'll have to look into that. I want to see Ash versus Predator. I think that'd be awesome. He's a Jesus. Huh? Have you heard of Resident Evil 8? If you have, do you have a crush or like lady? I haven't. I've heard of Resident Evil 8, but I haven't played it. My cat's staring at me funny. Yeah, it's probably gonna bite you again. What's favorite actor in the horror genre? Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane, hands down. I think he's amazing. Well, not hands down, because there are some other really good actors in horror, but Thomas Jane is the first one that comes to mind. He is always really enjoyable to watch. But man, I'm gonna go with Tom Jane right now. Uh, oh yeah, The Color Out of Space. The movie made you feel like you were high throughout the whole movie, right? Yeah, it really did, and it really made you kind of feel like you were hallucinating almost. Did you like Bird Box? I have not watched Bird Box. I haven't felt the desire to watch it. The Pred Alien honestly terrifies me because it doesn't need facehuggers or a queen. Exactly. I think the face or the Pred Alien was awesome. I thought that movie, although it probably could have been better, I thought they did a damn good job with it, and I thought that the Pred Alien was legitimately frightening. Just watched the new Saw movie, and it's good. I've heard some good things about it, but I don't know. I'll see. I'm not big on the Saw movies. She bit you again, Fence Idiot. I'm not surprised. That cat is probably out to kill you. Mr. X versus Nemesis. I'm going to go with Nemesis. But I'm trying to think, how much of a difference is there between Mr. X and Nemesis? Because if I remember the books correctly, they were almost interchangeable. My dog's staring at me funny with a weird grin. It's probably going to bite you. Nemesis stomps. If you could become one horror movie killer, which one would you be? Great question. Oh, probably. You know what? Probably Ghostface, because I could keep living on a normal life while being a serial killer until I died. You should make a horror gaming channel. Any thoughts? I've thought about a channel where you just cover, video game horror movies and the video games too. And I've thought about that. Maybe eventually if I have more time. The dumbest thing you ever have done. I'm going to close on this one. The dumbest thing that I ever did. I've got a few of those. Okay, we're going to close on this. The dumbest thing that I've ever done. Man, there are things that have happened to me that were dumb, and then there were dumb things that I did. So, one of the dumbest things that I ever did, and this is after many teen years of doing very dumb stuff. My friends and I just got done playing pool, and we were running to my car because we were going to go to IHOP, and I was the one driving. And as I was getting to my car, I realized that there was like beer bottles and stuff on my car, and I was like, oh man, somebody duct taped beer bottles to my car. Well, when I got to my car, I slipped on ice, and I didn't know it at the time, but I broke my ankle, and it hurt really bad. But I didn't realize it. I didn't think anything of it. But my car is a stick shift, and the ankle that I broke was my clutch foot. So I drove my friend to IHOP anyway, and it just hurt tremendously. I sat in IHOP with my friends, and the waitress actually came over to take our order. And when she came over, she kicked my leg because I had it sticking out from under the table because it hurt so bad. And uh, and then so I decided to leave. I was like, all right, guys, I got to go home. I don't feel good. So they helped me out to my car because it was still icy. I drove all the way home with my busted up ankle, and I went home and I went to bed. And this was when I was like 18, 19. And when I got home, I went to sleep kind of. I didn't sleep much that night because my leg hurt so bad. But it was finally the next day where I was like, I should probably go get this checked out. Yeah, it turned out to be broken. And I spent like the next month and a half in a boot. I had to go to, we bought tickets for a concert. And we were on the floor. So it was standing, we were planning on getting into the mosh and stuff like that. But I had a broken ankle and a boot. So being on the floor actually kind of sucked. But yeah, that was probably one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Aside from just general skateboarding idiocy and having cops called on you and stuff like that, that I'm going to go hands down that one because it's the most memorable. Otherwise, other things that surprisingly didn't get me killed. So, all right, guys. I am going to go ahead and end the stream. I spent an hour and 49 minutes with y'all. Thank you guys for all the questions, all the support. I super appreciate it. I love interacting with you guys in the comments. Thank you so much for all the positive feedback, all of the encouragement. I'm serious, guys. Without you guys, this wouldn't be as fun to do. I'd probably still have fun making videos, but having you guys comment and all the support and stuff, really, I appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for a couple hours. I seriously appreciate it. Again, I probably sound like a moron saying I appreciate it so many times, but you all have a really good night. Have a good rest of your weekend. And from the United States, have a good night, everybody out there internationally. Thank you guys for showing up. And dude, we will see you guys later. And as always, thanks and don't die.